Well, good afternoon to you again. Friday again. Oh my gosh, where's the time gone? Anyway, this will be my last one for the week, but you'll be no doubt wondering why I've got a little white rose, but I'll explain that in when I do my little bit of poem in a minute. All right, but I hope everybody's all right, safe and well. That's the most important. And see the drop of rain winner it is. Now this here one's just called the really garden fight. This one, all right. Well, did he enjoy the garden fair up Lowannick? Handsome, wasn't it? Mind you, the weather to make a difference, and it couldn't have been hotter, could it? As I said to Jack, it's just as well they cakes and sweets are in the shed, otherwise we should have had some mess. Anyhow, we had a good look round and bought a few bits and pieces off the craft stall and a few plant for the garden. Then we spotted that thing where they were throwing they wet sponges. I told Jack better fit he went in there, he would cool off a bit. But he didn't seem very keen. He said he'd rather have a few strawberries, so that's what we done. And they was handsome. Can't beat it, can he? Sitting down with friends and having a bit chat and fresh strawberries and cream. Then I spotted the bookstall. Jack said, "Here we go. No, you don't go mad, mother. You'd do it every time. You'd bring 10 books up for the stall and go on with 20. And we haven't got nowhere put the new ones we got now." I never took no notice. He'd always say that. 'Cause he didn't know what I'm like about books. I could read by the hour. Jack to say at least he'd to keep me quiet while he's watching the football. Anyhow, I only found 2 or 3 I fancied, so that wasn't bad, really. "Did he see the man going round with that video camera?" I said to him. "If I'd known I was going to be on film, I would have had my hair done." Anyhow, I was glad to sit down a bit under the trees, 'cause I had new shoes on and my feet were killing me by this time. Oh, should I spot then? But my grandchild, there with his mother. But I hardly nothing. He had his face painted up like a cat. Mine, whoever done a good job. He looked just like a proper cat. I asked him if he would like a few sweets, but he said, "My teacher said they're bad for your teeth, Grandma." "Did you know that?" "Yes, I do, my handsome," I said. "And I also know a good garden fight when I see one." Now, this little thing I'm going to talk about just for a minute this is for a special lady in America, Susan Riscola. Her husband was Rick Riscola. He was the hero from 9/11. And I'm wearing this white rose because his favourite song was The White Rose. Now, there's a book, and there's lots of things I can say about him, but there's a book here that tells you part of his life. And he was a Hale-born man, but what a hero. I mean, and as we know, he saved, 2,700 odd lives. When all this is over, I'm going to be out talking around and doing his life story, because he's a Hale boy, and I should be doing his life story. So if anybody's interested and would like to give us a ring when all this settles down, I should be delighted to come and tell you a lot more about the late Rick Riscola. And in November 2019, his wife, Rick was posthumously awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal, which I have a copy of here, right there, look. It's been sent to me. And this was for his heroism in 9/11, as we know, a terrible day. And there's another one side there. Okay, now, what I got to say now is, this David Proust, this gentleman, I've done a few things, just about a fortnight after all this, sad thing that had happened and all what the terrorists had done, etc., and all these lives. But of course, Rick was there right to the end, and of course, it cost him his life. Now, this here one is called Hero. So I'm doing this for Susan Riscola and her family in America. A little clutch of veterans share a table in a bar. There's a guy off in the corner coaxing tunes from his guitar. They watch the Hudson River as it rolls towards the bend. And then they talk of Rick Riscola as a comrade and a friend. while out across the water, many ocean miles away, within a Cornish tavern by a sandy Cornish bay, another group are gathered, reminiscent as a clan, and their thoughts are all of Tammy, from the schoolboy to the man. And every head among them has a picture in his mind, which time and place and memory have captured and consigned. Now the pictures meld together until only one remains, of a sturdy, selfless hero guiding others from the flames. It's a picture which unites them in their glory and their grief, more eloquent than eulogies confirming their belief that theirs has been a privilege to saunter at his side, and in a way he'd lived his life had Rick Rescorla died. The veterans recalled him in the killing fields of war as a man whose potent presence would inspire and reassure. Just one among his brothers when the skies begin to fall, yet one whom they regarded as a father to them all. And now their eyes will moisten at the mention of his name, and the sources and the substance of the legend he became. When mayhem drove the best men to crave their mother's love, he'd stand and croon an anthem to the gory gods above. And on that evil morning, so deceptively serene, amid another carnage just as callous and obscene, again he took the mantle of the sainted and the strong to save the lives of others with a blessing and a song. Between the Hudson River and the sandy shores of Hale, through eyes encompass differences of latitude and scale, all hands are linked together in the testament they bear. They are but Rick Rescorla's friends, united by a prayer. Thank you very much.